period of the circuit case. We have applied initial conditions and we have seen without the presence of that harmonic motion of the circuit behaves. Then we studied the effect of the presence of frictional forces and how is the equation modified by the application of frictional forces. Next we discussed about what is known as forced vibrations. When a body is in its natural vibration and is under the influence of an external force, that means it is expected to be having under the influence of a force with some frequency, and the body is already in its natural vibrations. When the body frequency matches with the frequency of the applied force, then the two bodies are said to be in. When the frequency, natural frequency of the body is matching resonance. So what is the condition of resonance? How do you define resonance as? When two bodies are in motion and when one body is oscillating with its natural frequency, if it is under the influence of an external force of unknown frequency, and when the frequencies match, the bodies are said to be in resonance, and the vibrations experienced by the body are called, what are those vibrations called? Forced vibrations. So at resonance, the two bodies will have the same frequency, and this body which is moving with its natural vibration moves or oscillates with maximum amplitude. And maximum energy is transferred between the two bodies. Now let us see the characteristics of these forced vibrations. So in the case of damped oscillations, what we have seen is there was no presence of external force. Was there an external force? In the damped vibrations, there was no external force, and only frictional forces were present. Then what was happening? Amplitude is getting reduced. Direction of amplitude is referred to as damping. Amplitude is damped and it causes the motion to die out. Isn't it? These are the characteristics of damped oscillations. Please make a note. What is the characteristic here? Then let us see what happens in the case of forced oscillations. In the case of forced oscillations, what happens? The given body is set and maintained in vibration by an external force. The force frequency may or may not be equal to the natural frequency of the body initially. When the body is set into motion, the frequency may not match. Slowly it gains the frequency of the applied force. And it will be seen that the body will begin to execute oscillation with a frequency equal to that of the applied force. And this is referred to as the forced oscillation. And examples are vibrations made by a tuning fork and vibrations made with a bridge when the soldiers march on it. Harmonic oscillator, for a damped harmonic oscillator, for every problem we have to discuss the characteristics, set up an equation, solve it, apply the initial conditions, and see whether what the solution what you assume is tallied on. So similarly, let us now start with the equation of motion of a forced oscillator. Let the external force be represented by F cos omega t is acting on a body of mass m with an angular frequency omega, and it displaces the body by an amount equal to, let us say, x. Till now we did not consider the effect this problem can be solved using even f sin omega t. The solution remains to be the same. So if it displaces the body by an amount equal to x, then the force acting on it is given by, you know the definition of Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to mass into x. We already know this. So it is md square x by dt square. And this force should be equal to sum of all these three components. First one, what is the first one? Applied periodic force, represented by F cos omega t. Then restoring force, which we have already taken care of even in the other cases. Restoring force acting on the body, and what is the direction? It has to be oppositely directed. So Fr is equal to minus Kx. This minus will take care of the sense of direction. Then the third one is damping force, which is proportional to the velocity as was the case we discussed. So it is proportional to dx by dt, where R is given by the damping constant. It's given by Fr is equal to minus R dx by dt, where R is called the damping constant. So the applied force should be equal to sum of this applied periodic force, restoring force and damped force. So when you write the equation, what you get is F is equal to F external, that is this, plus Fr. What is Fr? The restoring force. F capital R, the damping force. Equating the equations 1 and 2, what you get is md square x by dt square is equal to F cos omega t minus kx minus R dx by dt. Equating these two and rearranging these equations, what you are getting is this. This is the equation of motion of a forced oscillation. Please follow the notation carefully, and we will be using the same notation in the subsequent slides. And this equation 4 is represented as the equation of motion of a forced oscillator. Setting up the differential equation. Now we have to see, as we have seen in the cases of harmonic motion and damped motion, let us see the solution. For all these, the solution is assumed to be simple harmonic, represented by a sinusoidal wave. Either, what is sinusoidal wave? Either sines or cosines. So let the solution be represented by x is equal to a cos omega t minus theta. What is a? The amplitude, omega the angular frequency, and theta refers to the phase difference. What is the phase difference between the displacement of oscillator and external force? This external periodic force is inducing displacement in the body, and the difference in phase between the applied force and the displacement is represented by theta. So from this equation, take first derivative of time dx by dt, and the second derivative, that is d square x by dt square. If you do this, derivative of cos being sine, derivative of omega is being omega t, it's omega. You get dx by dt is equal to minus omega a sine omega t minus theta. Take the time derivative once again, that refers to the second differential equation. Once again, derivative of sine being cos, omega, another omega factor will come, same as in the earlier case. We get it as minus omega square a cos omega t minus theta. Substitute these equations into the equation 4, that is equation of motion. What we get is minus omega, this is here, minus omega square a cos omega t minus theta, minus 2b dx by dt, that is omega a sin omega t minus theta, plus omega square a cos omega t minus theta is equal to h by cos omega t. We are just substituting these equations into this. And when you simplify, this is what you are getting. Go back to the third one once again. This is what you have. Okay? A square can be taken common here. So what do you get? A square is equal to f by equation 8. Equation 9 is in terms of sine, 8 is in terms of cos. Just refer back to your equations. Then you get, do you get tan theta? Sin theta divided by cos theta will be tan theta. You get it. Or theta will be, what is theta? If tan theta is given by this, theta will be tan inverse of this expression. So we are writing an expression for the amplitude and the phase of a forced oscillation. The amplitude is given by equation 10a and the phase angle is given by equation 10b. Substitute these equations 10a and 10b in equation 5. We get displacement. What is the displacement given by? Displacement is equal to amplitude into phase of the motion, and amplitude being given by this equation, you get x is equal to f prime by this into cos of omega t minus theta. The natural frequency of oscillation, okay, and omega refers to the frequency with which the applied force is oscillating. So the first case is when omega is very much less than omega naught. Then what happens when omega is very much less? Omega square is further less, which can be neglected in comparison with omega naught square. So this factor is 0, this factor is 0. It is approximated to f prime by omega 0 square. What do you conclude from this? That this amplitude of the forced oscillation is independent of the frequency of the applied force. This is the natural frequency of the body. Applied force frequency is not coming into account here. So therefore it is independent of applied frequency, force of the applied frequency, frequency of the applied force, I'm sorry. And therefore this can be written as, what was f prime? It was f by m. So it is f by m omega naught square. This is constant. And theta is given by tan inverse of this. Once again, if you do this approximation, omega being very much less, this is very less. So 1 by less quantity is infinity. If tan inverse infinity, then what will be theta? Theta will be 0. Tan 0 is infinity. Sin 0 is 1, cos 0 is 0. 1 by 0 is 0. Cos 0 is 1. So therefore, this approximates to tan inverse of this being 0. So applied force and displacement, what is it that you conclude from this? Theta is being 0, that means phase difference is 0, that means applied force and displacement are in the same phase. They are in the same phase. Smaller than the natural frequency of oscillation, there is no phase difference between these two. It will continue to oscillate in the same direction. So when you want to see the impact of the force, and if you want to feel the maximum force to be present, it should be exactly applied at the middle. Impact will be exactly at the middle. And if it is in two opposite directions, there is no question of force being impact on the body. This is what we have seen. Equations which you already take a little bit, the expression for the amplitude and expression for the phase amplitude. Now from this, if you want maximum amplitude, the expression for the amplitude is this. It consists of a numerator and a denominator subtraction. And if this has to be maximum, what should happen to the denominator? It should be minimum. If it has to be infinity, denominator has to tend to 0. So now, to get a maximum amplitude, the denominator tends to 0. That means you take the first derivative. How do you calculate maximum and minimum of the function? You take, what will you do? First derivative, equate it to 0, find the value, substitute the value back in the expression. Accordingly, if it is negative, it is maximum. If it is positive, it is minimum. That's what we do. So that is what it is. So differentiate this, equate it to 0, and we get an expression for omega. And frequency is given by omega 2 pi. This is the resonance frequency, for which amplitude is. in the expression for A, the amplitude, when you substitute that expression, what you are getting is A maximum is equal to F prime by this. Actually, what is it that I am substituting? We are substituting omega is equal to square root of omega naught square minus 2b square into where? Into this expression. In place of omega, you are substituting this, and what you are getting is this. This is the expression for A maximum. Do you follow? This is simply substituting. And this gets cancelled here. You are left with 2b square here. And here you have 8b to the power 4, isn't it? 4 into 2 is 8. And if you take 2b square, 4b square or 2b square, if you take it out, what you are left with is omega 0 square minus b square. Take 2 out here, you are left with 2b, 4b square, square root of 4b square will be 2. Are you getting this expression, girls? It's very easy. Take square root of 4b square, which is 2b, and that 2b is coming out here. What are you left with is omega naught square minus b square. In the previous one, we got an expression for maximum frequency. And that maximum frequency is substituted here, and we got an expression for maximum amplitude. This is the expression for amplitude. And the condition is when B is very small. What is B? Damping coefficient of damping. If that is small in that expression, if B is very small, B is neglected in comparison with omega naught, what are you left with? Square root of omega naught square, which is omega. Omega and omega naught are almost closer to each other. Because at resonance what happens? Omega is equal to omega naught. I can write omega naught as well as omega. So you get this expression for A maximum. And as frequency goes to 0, that means as omega goes to 0, what happens to A maximum? It reaches, when the denominator is going down, the fraction goes on. So when you plot the graph here, you are plotting a graph between amplitude and this frequency. 0 damping, it tends to infinity. Small damping, the middle curve is small damping, this is high damping. So what is it that we conclude? I just complete the paper. The rate of decrease in amplitude on both sides of resonant frequency due to change in frequency is known as shock. The shock, as it goes closer and closer, the peaking is sharper. Peaking is sharper means what? What is conclude from that? The value, the deviation of the frequency above the resonance onto the left and onto the right is less. The width is less. If the width is less, it is sharper. That means it is the best resonance graph that we are getting. Amplitude decrease is less. They follow that? Width is the least in the sharpest graph. Sharpest graph, width is less. The widest, the sharpness is less. If it is short, it has to be like this. If it is wider, it is not. If it tends to infinity, it is less. Just stop it off. This is an amplitude versus frequency. Are you able to write down? Convenient? Last one convenient, right? But now it's all the electronics. Okay, out of the two rooms, which is better? This room is better or that room is better? That room is better. If you want me to continue like this, I will storage the project is better here. Yes. Okay? Can I proceed? Have you copied? Oh, so this is as far as amplitude resonance is concerned. Next, let us see what happens to the velocity. The of a damped oscillator at any given instant of time is given by this expression. X is equal to this. We are calling it as equation A. Okay, you just copy this. You just copy this one. They are not talking about velocity aspect, isn't it? So what is the velocity given by dx by dt, and that is equal to, we are taking the derivative with respect to t. Do you get this thus? The derivative of this is sin omega t minus theta into derivative of omega t being equal to omega. Now we are not disturbing anything in the denominator. Why? This is very small, so we are not taking this into, only this we are doing. So when you do this, this is what you are getting, and sin omega t minus theta can be written as, the derivative of this is cos a sin. This is actually cos, you must write it as cos. Sin theta, how do you get? Cos 90 plus a. Instead of sin, you write it as cos. And velocity is maximum. Or you can also write this as sin 90 plus theta. Sin 90 plus theta is sin theta, no? Sin 90 plus theta is sin theta? Yes. The second one. So instead of writing sin omega t minus theta, we are writing it as sin pi by 2 plus omega t minus theta. The reason why we are doing is, velocity is said to be maximum when this is 1. Not touching the denominator, when sin theta is 1, what you get maximum value of the component as f prime omega. When will this happen? When this is 1, this is 1. So velocity resonance takes place when, what is the difference between these and that? When the displacement is given by cos, we are getting velocity by psi when they differ in phase by pi by 2, and when the phase angle between them is equal to 1. When will sine of something is 1? 90. Sine 90 is 1. And the perpendicular to each other, the displacement is 1. The other day also I told you, when the displacement and velocity applied on the force applied is maximum. Maximum energy will be delivered, amplitude is going to be maximum, and the body is set into maximum. And hence energy gain, half mv square also is going to be. Isn't it? So now, velocity is given by this expression. Now velocity resonance, also called as energy resonance. Velocity resonance means when the velocity reaches its peak value. When velocity reaches its peak value, its energy also attains its maximum value. So then Vmax is given by, when will this happen? When this condition is almost 0. When this is 0 and omega is completely 0, square root of omega square the whole square is omega 0 square. And what is f prime? F by m. We are writing f prime as f by m into omega. Omega naught square was r by m. Remember the previous expressions. Substituting these expressions, what we are getting is f by omega by, this is k, not r, this is k. And if Have you copied up to here? Which one you want to go up? Third equation. Not here. I am replacing f prime with f by m. Write it as f by m into omega. I will read it out for you. F by m into omega. Okay. Divided by. Do you mean writing omega 0 square as what? K by m. This is k by not r. This is k by m. So m and gets cancelled. What are you left with? F omega by k. What is it that you conclude from this? Mean maximum is proportional to 1 by k. K was force constant. Isn't it? Some constant. Force constant. As it increases, maximum velocity increases. As it decreases, maximum velocity increases. Now if omega is very much greater than omega naught, next condition. What? This is for small values of omega. If omega is very much greater than omega naught, then omega naught is removed and this will be omega to the power 4. This is very high compared to this. Finally, it will be just reduced to f prime by omega, which is f prime by m omega. So if omega, that is applied frequency, is very high, mass of the object also comes into picture. If the frequency is less, mass will not come into picture. These are the two conditions for the velocity to reach the velocity. So what happens when the balls, the other day also you have said, you are sliding down also. Heavier balls takes a long time for you to slide down. Smaller balls are coming down very fast. And the rate, if you are rotating that, naturally to rotate the heavier object is taking longer time. Lighter object takes fast. So frequency being proportional to, this is velocity, being proportional to mass. Heavier the mass is, it requires lesser velocity, the energy also is going to be less. The light mass, more velocity and hence more energy. So at resonance, minimum energy is transferred for lower masses and high masses, and high energy is distributed for lower masses. Is it understandable mathematically? So this is the velocity resonance that we are talking about. Have you copied? Yes, ma'am. Then let us see the next one. Next. What is the